1966 Cyclone GT. Here's the view most would have seen. Nothing but taillights. I put the hubcaps on yesterday or day before Saturday, and they had never been installed. They're brand new. Here we have the trunk on the 1966 Cyclone GT. I mean, it's literally never been touched. Of course, the mat is here. It's in excellent shape. A little dirty. I haven't attempted to clean it. But the shocking part is when you lift this up, you can see even the sideboards, the plating on the screws. I'll try to clean it up. Inside here, I mean, not a speck of rust or even even the taillight panel, which is typical rusty. I mean, the paint looks showroom new. Really good. I'll pull up the mat here. You can see inside of this trunk, it's unbelievable how nice it remains. Here's the other side. Typical rusty spots. The paint is shiny, the harness, the taillight housings, everything. It's just fantastic shape. You can see the original sticker here on the trunk. The latch, the lip where it'll usually rust. And I have a 1966 plate on it. Yeah, everything works from the backup lights, taillights, blinkers, horn, I mean, shift indicator, pretty much nothing is in op. I missed the area about around the trunk seal. This is the original trunk seal. It's getting a little bit firm. It's still pliable. There's little tiny flaws in it in a few places here, but it's it's actually unbelievable for a 57-year-old car. I still haven't cleaned. I plan on hand rubbing the jams, like lots of dirt and such in it, but there you are. To see the engine bay. I mean, it's it looks good for 57 years. It's not what one's used to, is having everything perfectly restored. But I mean, there's nothing other than a little, there's a dent here in the fender, little ding, and then there's a spot where they had set the battery down on it, where it's had a little bit of touch up here, and a little bit of battery acid on the aprons, of course. You can see the original battery OK sticker. But it's, other than the battery and this battery cable end, it's all original. Of course, the hoses, the belts have been replaced. The cap, I imagine that might have been, but it's exact kind it should be. Has intermittent wipers. The windshield washer bottle is NOS. I mean, the other one was yellow and crumbled. And the master cylinder has been replaced, but it has, power steering, power brakes. It's the original distributor. I washed the engine off, so there's not much paint on the intake manifold. Some of the original paint, timing cover. The water pump has been replaced. It's the original air cleaner. You can see there's some definite flaws in the air cleaner lid. But the valve covers even are very, very nice. Passenger side, you can see there's a few little tiny splatter from battery acid through the ears. But the choke heat tube, hoses, I need to clean the firewall. I did rinse the bay. And the shock bushings, which original shocks, and the bushings are kind of getting bad. The wiper motor just had never gotten used. It's a part and it's got a date stamped in it, but it just never got used, so I need to clean the armature and such to get it to work. Of course, the hood insulation is there, but it's kind of rough, but I guess after that long, bottom side of the hood here needs a good cleaning. You can see the latch is real nice. There's no rust or surface rust. You can see where that part sticking to under the grill got some slaughter. You can see some paint okay marks here. And the hoods were painted separately from the cars, while as the trunk was painted with the car. And there's, you know, like little waves in the fiberglass, but it has the original low tension springs on it here. So yeah, so this is about the best I can show. As you can see it, even the headlights, you can see the, oh yeah, there you can see the Ford script in that headlight, and that one. So it looks like the two uppers have been replaced after that years, but two of the headlights are still original. So here and the engine bay, there's really not much other than the washer thing that's been replaced. I did pull the air cleaner off and looked at it and checked the carb. The plating on the carb looks almost new, and it is the correct carb, you know, date coded with the tag. The engine tag is still there, original coil. It just never been touched, and it does have a new reproduction spark plug wires and a cap on it. Of course, the radiator is original. It just, you know, others wanted to see the engine bay, so here it is. It's actually quite nice. I'm tempted, do I detail it or not? But I'd like to have it looking brand new. But when it's the original engine, original tranny, and original rear axle had never been out, it's like it's pretty hard to touch other than slowly going through and making sure everything's okay. Here I have a lot of documentation. It's probably one of the most, if not the most documented Cyclone, Fairlane, whatever, of this vintage. Here's the one when I was younger that got me, is this 2-page Life magazine, huge thing, you know, just about the Comet. And I had this red, white stripe, white interior 66 Cyclone, but it wasn't a GT. Had it for 16 years. It didn't have an engine or tranny, so I never got to drive it. But here's the Comet ad. I first saw one in a comic book back in 1966, and that said, well, someday I'll have my car. And little did I know it would be 57 years later. This Mechanic Illustrated is just an article of where they tested the car, where it ran high 13s at almost 104 mile an hour. This is just X paint code. It's a real dark maroon, or they called it burgundy on the window sticker. I'll do a video of that also. Here I have the wiper arms are off. The wiper motor's out. I just need to clean it and put it back in, but there's a date code on it, so I know it's the original to the car. Well, here I can start with the interior on this one. You can see it's never been touched, painted, anything done. It's kind of hard to read the mileage, but you can see all the dirt buildup on the latches. I'm sure that was because they were lubed. Okay, there's the VIN number and info and color. You can see that's the original weather strip to the door, and they're in fantastic shape. The only weather strip or whatever that's a little sad is the outer belts are dry. The inner felts are good, but the outer belt is dry. And I found NOS ones, which I'll buy as a remote mirror. Even the carpet is just, original carpet's fantastic. You can see the inserts in here in the door, you know, somewhere on the, you know, from grabbing here, but it's in great shape. The door is sill plated, has deluxe seat belts, so it has a retractor. You can see letting that go. It put some little flaws in the sill plate here, but you can see the door jamb, and I haven't even wiped them, cleaned them, anything. This is just how it was. You can see the quarter glass here seals are getting firm and hard, but they're beautiful. There's the carpet. See the aluminum trim on the seats. There's little flaws in them, of course, but they're beautiful. Original upholstery. The rear deck is unbelievably nice. You know, they're the original upholstery because you got the embossment in the seats here. Headlighter, dome lights, a little yellow, but it works. Sun visors look like new. Wooden steering wheel is perfect. Mileage was 56,707 when I bought it. So I put nearly 180 miles on it. But the chrome around the dash, the camera case finish, switches, seatbelt light works, e-brake, check inside the doors. And I haven't even gone in there and tried hand polishing or cleaning. All the chrome is nice, but it does need to be, you know, wiped down. Cyclone aftermarket air. Dash is incredibly nice yet. The other door panels. Console perfect. Shifter bushing is probably cracked. It's a little loose, but the indicator lights still work. You can see there's zero wear on the pedal. Gas pedal or the stainless ring. And I have documentation through the years for the mileage, so that's easily provable. It's the original 56,000. The engine runs like it, the tranny. None of that has been out. It's just crazy how well cared for. I have the whole history on the car from day one. So that's pretty much about the best I can show. I'm out here before the sunrise this morning, just so I don't get any shadows or glares or anything, to show it overall. I mean, there's little flaws here and there in the paint that ain't perfect, but be hard pressed to find one equally as nice. You can see the factory hand painted pinstripe here is unbelievable shape. You can see where they got a little wave in it here, and it got a little bit thin when they're hand pinstriping it, but the fit and finish is actually quite nice. He told me about they had a CB antenna on it, and you can see the circle where that was mounted to the trunk lid. You can see the paint is a little bit thin right there from polishing. All the stainless around the windows is really nice, but of course it could use a polish. Yeah, definitely a dream car. The paint changes just completely depending on the light on it. Goes from a dark maroon to, when the sun hits it, it turns really light. And if in bright light without the direct sun, it turns almost a reddish color. To me, there's no better looking front end on the car than the 66 Cyclone. For me, that was what I'll do a video of the other documentation. Yeah, I'm just driving it. I had it out there just for video. This AC unit is Montgomery Ward's. It was installed in 1972. So back it is in climate controlled garage. Keep it nice. Lots of junk outside, lots of projects. pulling it back into the garage. Do this quickly so I don't lose all my AC. It's see all the lights on the dash work. Shift indicator lights work. Okay, so as long as I'm sharing the entire car, I wanted to share the documentation I have here. I have more also, but I'll just show what I have here for now. So here's the original spares to the keys. They don't look like they've ever been used. Of course, they still have the key number tag on them. And to start out with, here's the original window sticker. Not no repop that somebody made up in their backyard. Cyclone 2-door, 2891.33. And something really interesting is you've always heard that they had to have California smog. And with this car, I can prove that maybe the Fairlane had it, but the Cyclone GT was exempt, and it didn't have it if you ordered the closed crankcase emission reduction system. The automatic $215.99. Power brakes, power steering, $126.76, AM radio, deluxe seat belts, interval wipers. And further on, you'll see what you got when you had interval wipers. There's a tag on the wiper switch showing how to operate them, and that was also saved. So you had it was bought new and at Rodley Motors, 200 Florence Avenue in Dunsmuir. Here's the VIN, even though it was California. It was built in Lorain, Ohio. And I did have to put a piece of tape on the back side here just so I could scan it. There's some kind of a, must have been a rotation number, I'm not really sure. It says 01 of 50, so I'm not really sure what that means. And to prove original ownership, so here's who owned it from, you can see July 27, 66. Melvin Conley, he lived there in Dunsmuir, California. There's the original California Highway Patrol Motor Vehicle Pollution Control. So here's proof they didn't all have a smog pump. Another rare piece is I have the original California title, pink slip, dated. And if you'll see here, an original one from the date, AIN 142 was the California black plate, which is still on the car. And some said, oh, I can tell by the number that that's not the original. Oh, yes, it is. And to show that the guy had passed away, the back of the title was signed over by his son. And it clearly says he was executor, sold. And then here's the second owner, which I've spoken with. Currently lives in Texas. Here's the original owner's manual. In very nice shape. And guess what? It shows the original owner, the date it was done, California, July 27th, 1966. And here it is. I'm not sure what the change speed is. Might have been the odometer. And then there's a warranty extended. And I have the paperwork from Mercury that extended the warranty on this car. Lots of stories. Like I say, the book is in great shape. And then here's the letter from Mercury about the warranty, extended warranty. Here we are, and here's the owner's card and the name. And here's the interval wiper thing that would have been hanging on the wiper knob when the car was new. So that was been saved. Here it is here. And then here's a manual that came from Ford. Here's the extended warranty owner card. Let's say it's always in his name. Then here's a California Highway Patrol. I'm not sure what this was, but many, many years later, where they marked it down and needs a smog pump. But then the Rodley Motors explained, see page P1 exempt Comet GT 390 335 horsepower and a reference to it. And they did dock him said that it needed headlight alignment. So then he went to the Mercury dealer to have the headlights aligned, and there's actually a receipt. I think it was $3 and something to have the headlights aligned. But here's when 88 to 72, when the lifetime warranty was done with the words. And then here's even the receipt for the installation. So there's this $289.95, and that included $60 labor to install it. Registration, that owner's name. More paperwork from Montgomery Wards, and here that it was checked. And see, the cool thing about it is it'll show the date and the miles and such. To show. And then here's the receipt from Rodley Motors after the Highway Patrol said his headlights needed aiming, and the dealer charged him $3.25. So 2 of the headlights are actually original to the car. 2 have been replaced, and he was making payments of $25 a month for the car. And here they had something with the mufflers, and that was in 74. Gene's Automotive. And then here's the proof now of the thing. So here's the original registration. You can see when the title was issued, 8/22 of 66. And here's that license plate, California, AIN 142. And of course, it's the 1963 plate, but it started here in 66. So what I have here is I have every single registration, 66, 67, 68, 69. And then I even have the letterheads from California. And you can see here it goes on, with the dates, 70, 71, 72. Same owner. I have every registration, and every single one shows that AIN 142 plate all the way through 2015. So this is the documentation. So you can see every single year registration, and there was at times where it wasn't driven, but it was still registered, so the tab was never put on. There's like in the late 80s, early 90s, it didn't hardly get driven at all. And then here's your acknowledgement status from the DMV showing that it was parked. And, it cost $34. Matchbook cover. And then, so anyway, I think I missed one that had all the license tabs on it. Oh yeah, right here. Here's a whole stack. That 89 tab. It had accumulated so many years of tabs that he actually pulled them off and then stuck it to the registration from that year. So I don't know. I guess all the years from 66 to 89 would be in that huge stack. So that's what I have here for some of the documentation, but a well-documented car to show the 56,000 miles is correct.